Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, episode, child, I don't even know, honey, but we're going to get into it as we get into it. Honey, this trip has lasted forever. Please wrap this trip up. Okay, let's get it wrapped up. Okay, this is the longest trip in the history of trips, and y'all ain't doing nothing. Okay. I know that my review is late because the opinionated family, honey, y'all know I put my reviews out right away. But yesterday, I just wasn't feeling myself, okay? I was taking in a lot of energy and emotions through my comment sections, and just a lot was going on, honey. I needed a mental day, but we're back. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you are back for a second or third time, then child, welcome back. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. As I stated, this is the longest trip in the history of trips. Lord, please let this trip be over soon. So they get back to the house and whatnot. Everybody goes to take a little nap after the boat ride. Giselle and Robin upstairs talking about, I would really give some money to just knock this wall out just to get a bathroom. Giselle, wait till you get home to start remodeling, child. Like, save your blueprints and whatnot for the Etch-a-Sketch house. And I thought y'all would let the Motel 6 down the street. I guess they turned the light off and whatnot. Moving forward, the caterers arrived to set up for the crab boil for the evening, and everyone's getting ready. Eddie was helping Wendy strap on her shoes. So he's like, ooh, you got me down on both knees. She was like, when the last time I had you down on both knees? He said, girl. She said, no, to propose. Get your mind out the gutter. Girl. Now, Wendy, who proposing on both knees? Was he begging like Keith Sweat? Oh, Idris. Child, you a full-on lie. You knew exactly what you meant. So everybody starts coming downstairs, and baby Ray and Karen came through like some OGs on the Soul Train line, honey. Dancing, matching hats and everything. I like that Ray is having a good time. I never have really seen Ray let his hair down. I mean, he ain't got much hair. But the fact that he's having a good old time. Come on through, Raymond. Come on through. Moving forward. Child, Karen talking about, we doing the electric slide backwards. Karen, have you ever seen the electric slide done like that? Girl, that is not the electric slide. Honey, I am done with the Grand Dame. So they head outside, and everything was set up really nice. It was a beautiful setting, amazing views. It was a little nippy outside, okay? It was Nippy Jones, honey. It was a little cold. So they sit down with blankets in tow. The only thing that they needed was some heat lamps, and it would have been perfect. So they're sitting down now 5 minutes, and G gets up to leave the table, honey. It's too cold for him. So then Wendy does a toast, and they're having small talk, right? So Ashley all of a sudden asks about Eddie's mom. Why? I am not sure. Ashley, why are you asking about this man's mother? You don't know these people like that. Like, do y'all talk on the phone? Have you asked them this before? Like, why would you just randomly ask? And thank God he had a good report. But he said, you know, it was nice that she called, and she randomly called out of the blue, and she asked how the family was. And I thought about it when they showed the flashback, and I said, okay, I guess she felt okay to ask since they brought it up so freely last trip. But still, girl, read the room, honey. Ugh, child. So Wendy in her confessional, she was like, you know, I just want him to have a good relationship with his mom. She missed the wedding. She missed the birth of our kids. She missed all of that. Child, you know, you gotta be mad to not show up to the wedding or the birth of your own grandkids. Because y'all know births usually bring people together. It softens you up. Child, she must can't stand Wendy and her family. Oh, child, this is a fool. Honey, Eddie must really love him some Wendy. That should prove to you right there, baby. He down for Wendy. Your own mama has disowned you, and you still sticking beside her. I know that's right. So G comes roaming back outside, and he's like, you want something to drink? He talking to Mia. She's like, sit down. He said, it's a whole lot of ish I could be doing. I could mostly be sleeping. G, sit down, honey. Don't be rude, child. Sit down. Sit down, sir. He's kind of taking little digs at Ashley. So Giselle is like, I thought you and Ashley were done. I mean, you apologized and all of that. So how are you making sleeping jokes? He said, you know, we having fun, aren't we? You can have fun, but this is just me. This is my opinion. You can have all the fun you want to have, but leave me alone. Okay, especially when I get rid of them kids. Please leave me alone, honey, and let me enjoy myself. I ain't got to look at Michael. I ain't got to have them kids. Let me rest. My God. So anywho, Giselle was like, did you listen to her earlier? She said it was an issue. He's like, what issue? So Ashley said, on the bus when I was asleep in the corner. He said, what corner? She said, on the bus. He said, what bus? She said, do you have amnesia? Were you on the bus? He said, when? She said, do you have Alzheimer's? He's like, I'm just playing with you. So he walks back in the house. Ashley, I don't know if you're ignorant or just dumb. Okay? I did not appreciate the Alzheimer's with an H comment. My grandmother actually suffers from that. So aside from you fussing and fighting about which sugar daddy is the best, okay, you need to watch your mouth. It was disgusting. It was vile. It was Ashley. Okay? You need to watch your mouth. But aside from that, which I'm going to get back into it, honey, I'm going to get you together real quick in just a minute. He was just trolling you. Girl, you can't tell when somebody playing, honey. Ugh. Child, I can tell you and Michael don't play, child. Y'all don't do nothing. Anywho, Ashley, he knew exactly what you were talking about, okay? He was just trolling you. And everybody doesn't want to play, though, G, okay? Especially when they really don't know you like that. She already mad that Michael isn't there. He's on that poster board in the room, and then the other two of the throuple keeps trying to escape. So please leave this girl alone. Also, Ashley, okay? Yeah, you thought I was gone? I'm back. Don't throw out ageist insults, okay? You need to come back with something else. You ain't got nothing else? Not Alzheimer's. Girl, goodbye. Your husband is seasoned as well. Okay, it could make a U-turn, head right on over to the penthouse in the sky. Get it together or leave it alone. Moving forward. So Mia is like, Alzheimer's is a real disease with a T. Oh, Mia. So Ashley is like, it's with a Z. Mia, I gotta say this though. G started this on the bus. Okay, never wake a sleeping mom, honey. Please let us lie. Just like sleeping babies, don't wake sleeping babies, don't wake sleeping moms. When we finally get our eyes closed, please leave me the hell alone. Thank you, management. So they're having words back and forth and back. And Mia goes, where's your husband? She said, at home with my children. She said, are you sure? Child, oh, Lord, honey. I told y'all last review, honey, you got to check in because you don't know what Michael doing, honey. Dean be watching Dylan, honey. I'm just saying. You got to make sure everything is everything. So Mia was just checking in, child. But please don't start that. We just got you out of arguing with Candace. Mia ain't afraid of no fight, child. She gonna fight if she don't do nothing else, honey. Even if she in the wrong, she in the right. She don't care. She gonna speak her speech, okay? She gonna pipe up. So Candace is chiming in her confessional. Child, please stay out of it, okay? Just be happy you're a spectator at this point. Just be quiet. We don't need anything from the peanut gallery. And back to you, Ashley. I was just thinking about this. How dare you make a comment about Alzheimer's disease when you know that Karen's parents and they suffered from Alzheimer's? Like something is really wrong with you. You've taken that tagline very literally. The only thing messier than my two boys is me. Girl, shut up. Anywho, trying to make me mad, honey. Had to go on a little rant. So Mia is saying in her confessional, she's like, we're on vacation. And why haven't I met your husband? Are you embarrassed by him? Why are you sleeping anyway? Listen, Mia, girl, I'm going to get my shut eye when I can. People do sleep on vacations. And y'all were on a bus coming back. He should have left her alone when she asked him to leave her alone. I would have been pissed too. Okay, I'm just going to tell y'all like that. I would have been mad as well. I don't like for people to interrupt my sleep. Please leave me alone. Oh. And Giselle and Robin, why didn't y'all pipe up when Ashley started throwing out these ageist comments? Oh, y'all got nothing? Oh, okay. Over in the darkness, Eddie and Wendy are coming over with this cake. And honey, the fact that they're carrying Karen in this cake is a fool. Do y'all hear me? I said, not them carrying Karen, child. Oh my God. So Wendy was like, Ray, we knew that you wanted a lady to jump out of a cake. So here it is. So he's like, I got one question. Is she naked? Karen bet not be. Honey, bet not be. If I see hide nor hair of Karen's body, I'm going to be thoroughly upset. Do y'all hear me? Don't play with me. I do not want to see Karen's body, honey. But y'all do not want to see, not now, piece of your body. Moving forward. Karen jumps out like, ta-da. Okay. Child, everybody's just looking. So Giselle talking about, she should have been naked with whipped cream on her nipples. Honey, in the privacy of her own home, absolutely. Here on this trip, absolutely not. Girl, goodbye. So after the Grand Dame popped out the cake and whatnot, the people dispersed, and the producer asked Wendy, how would you rate your hosting skills? She was like, 10s across the board. 10s, 10s, 10s. You know what? If it's one thing Wendy gonna do, it's ride for herself, honey. She got self-love out the wazoo. Because Wendy gonna ride for herself, baby. She said, I was a mediator, a personal chef, I made sure everyone had a good time. So basically, honey, she was the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. Moving forward. Outside, a scholar is trying to get on the Googler to see what Alzheimer's is. Meanwhile, on the inside, Mia is telling G, I wasn't defending you. I was defending everyone with Alzheimer's. Girl, goodbye. Not with Alzheimer's. Ooh, child. I can't make too much fun of you, honey, because my family said the exact same way, child. Put a T where H should be, child. Don't even worry about it, Mia. But thank you for defending those that have Alzheimer's. I totally appreciate that. Ashley, you little dingbat. So here go Robin in her confessional. The trip was a -5. I don't feel comfortable talking to Wendy. She's a horrible host. Okay, Rob, we get it, honey. I think you want to talk to her because you keep mentioning it every 5 minutes. If I don't want to talk to nobody, honey, I have nothing for you. Dust. Okay? I don't even speak your name, honey. I don't want to hear nothing about you, and I don't want you saying nothing about me. I rate the trip a 6 if it were me. It was boring and full of stupid drama. And I gave it a 6 because I like Wendy and Idris as a couple, child. Moving forward, everybody gets back home to these invitations. Giselle and her boot, they open theirs. She's like, what is it, mothballs? Giselle, mothballs are the things you use to get rid of the rats, I think. Ain't that what you use? You put in your closets and whatnot to keep the moths and the rats and everybody from coming in and chewing up your shoes and whatnot. Child, I remember my grandma used to put down the mothballs. Oh, child, them things will stink up a joint. Here go, Candace. Are those roaches? Now, why would she send you a box of roaches? Girl, the things that y'all say, honey. I couldn't catch my breath at the fact that Juan, being a strapping athlete, opened up this box and ran for cover. Then his son had locked him out. He was like, boy, you better open this door. Wait a minute, y'all. Wait. Ooh, child. The way I hollered at him running to that door. Ooh, honey, I would have hollered and screamed and cussed my child smooth out. Don't lock me out when I'm in fear. Oh, please open this door back up, child. So anywho, Giselle said, girl, I know you want to send these grand invites or whatever, but just send me a text message. I know that's right, child. An evite would have sufficed. Even a club flyer. She meant well. She just didn't know the butterflies were going to get in there and pass out, child. She didn't know. Whoever put these things together, though, y'all need to know that it was not executed properly. Honey, there should have been some kind of hole or something for the butterflies to breathe, because they opened up the box and they were just out like a light. Child, that ain't cute. In the next scene, Mia was like, well, I see where she was going. This is what she said in her confessional. When you get married, you're in a cocoon and then you become a caterpillar. And then I was like, girl, what? Girl, what are you talking about? She was like, don't get me back to kindergarten. But child, what she really wanted to say is, child, don't get me the line. Honey, we know exactly what you really wanted to say. So her and G, they sit down, they start talking, right? Apparently, they didn't go straight home. They did the little anniversary staycation type thing, right? Mia said at dinner, her phone kept going chirp, chirp. Mia, let me find out you got a Nextel phone. Y'all remember the Nextel phone used to chirp? Child, I had that Nextel phone. You couldn't tell me nothing. I'm like, child, just chirp me. Oh, child, those were the good old days. Not me as an entertainer and got a Nextel phone. Girl, let me find out. So G said, when she kept calling you, I called her and I was like, you need to figure it out. She was like, these your kids. And then she hung up. Mia, you should have called your own mother. Okay? G should not have called her. She's calling you. You need to either answer or you need to call her back. So then Mia tells us that G and her got into an argument because she couldn't decide what to feed the kids. Well, grandma, honey, when in doubt, just order pizza, child, and put it on their tab. So G said, when they got home, her mom went off and he just stood there taking it. Now, I don't know if this is true because G seemed like he'll pipe up if you piping up on him. Now, he said he was just standing there and Mia co-signed it. So, but Mia got a little lying problem. So you just can't never really be too sure. So Mia said, yeah, I was worried because the kids were watching this and I was like, we don't even do this in front of them. Your mama was probably tired. Okay. She had already been there all weekend. She was ready to be relieved of her duties. Y'all was supposed to come back to the house after this boring trip. That's what y'all was supposed to do. She was ready to go. Okay. So she said after the argument, she stormed out crying and the kids were asking, what's wrong with grandma? She's like, I don't want them to be exposed to that. And I don't want them to be exposed to her leaving. So Mia said that her mom left her in some really crappy situations and her leaving triggered some of her childhood trauma. Her and her mom could benefit from some therapy together. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to therapy at the moment, but they need to. And I know Mia said that she watches her sister's kids. And Mia, I know you want some attention from your mom, honey. And I know you want her to watch your kids, but that's a lot for her. She's not used to, your kids, their needs, and she was just probably trying to make sure that she did exactly what you wanted her to do. But Mia, let me say this. I'm speaking directly to you, honey. I don't care if Obama is watching your kids. If he calls, you need to answer. Child, you don't never know what's going on. You don't know what could be wrong. Just sitting up there and letting that next tail chirp while y'all sit up there and eat steak and shrimp. Oh, no, ma'am. Honey, answer that phone. In the next scene, Giselle and the girls, they go to look for flowers for the circular driveway of it all. And I was trying to imagine, how is this driveway going to curve? Child, Giselle going to break the whole driveway out. Oh, child. Baby, Giselle is working 9 to 5. Child, she working 365 on this house. Do y'all hear me? Oh, child. She was like, yeah, I really love my house and I can't wait for y'all to see my $8,000 chandelier. The chandelier price isn't the issue, Giselle. It's the tacky decor underneath the chandelier, okay? You can put a Picasso in a barn. It is still a barn, okay? But hey, honey, if you don't stay in your home, who else will, child? So you did it all by yourself. Kudos on that. Moving forward. So Giselle is asking the girls how they feel about her going out every now and again. They were like, we feel fine. We don't want you growing up old and lonely. And you know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of that time when over on Real Housewives of Atlanta, when Cynthia went to go see Candy and she really didn't want to do nothing. She was really over Peter. And she was telling Candy that, all that glitters is not gold, basically, over there with bar none. And so Candy was like, well, you got to figure it out. You don't want to grow old and lonely. That's exactly what I thought of when they were talking to Giselle. That's just a side note. So anywho, back to the mess. So they're like, we don't want you dying alone. She was like, she is not dying alone. They said, well, it's looking like, honey, you don't have anyone near you. I said, not near her. Child, now she ain't got nobody near her. She said, well, right now I'm dating. So then the producer asked her in the confessional, wait, you're dating somebody? She said, yes, girl, you, yes, lie. She said, but they're just casual encounters. Translation, I just call them for drive-bys, okay? I know that's right, Gizzard, honey. Sneak them into the west wing through that sliding glass door. That's why you got them daughters on the other side of that house, so you can sneak the men in and out that door. I know exactly what you're doing, honey, and you ain't fooling me. Moving forward. Child, Giselle ain't dating nobody. So they go and take a seat. She's like, y'all told me that I'm emotionally unavailable. She said, I haven't been vulnerable with men in the past, but I know that y'all are going to start dating soon, and I don't want y'all to be that way in your relationship. So Grace was like, it's harder because we've never seen you in a relationship, so it's hard to look up to you and Dad. I love her relationship with her girls, mostly because she's raised them to feel safe with her, to voice their concerns and their opinions. And all jokes aside, that is an awesome thing because most kids don't talk to their parents freely. They don't have a level of transparency. They're always trying to make sure that they mask their feelings and they put their feelings to the side. And we'll see that a little bit later with Wendy as we get into it. So I appreciated the fact that the girls were like, look, girl, what is happening? You've been by yourself I don't know how long, and I can't look up to you because there's nothing to look up to because you haven't been in a relationship, so I don't know what to mimic. And I appreciated that. So the girls are telling her, it's hard to see what a successful marriage looks like because they've never witnessed it. Giselle said, wow, it's worse than I thought. So they told her, it's not your fault, but it will be harder for us because we never saw that. I could tell Giselle was really shocked because she does love those girls and she is a great mom. Now, I might give her a hard time, child. Call her Gizzard until, she in the Etch-a-Sketch house. But I really do realize that she was hurt in this moment. And I'm just like, oh, I feel bad for her. She was like, look, I was born with walls up and I'm emotionally tough, but I never want to be so tough that I can't be an example to my girls. She said, there are things that I could have done better with Jamal. Girl, don't you be taking no blame for Jamal being a cheater and whatnot. Child, nobody can tame Jamal. He likes to sow his little royal oats all over town. Girl, please. So they're like, okay, lead by example then, because you're like a vampire with no feelings. Child, not a vampire. Baby, these girls, ooh, child, they might be a little bit too transparent. You hear me? I understand them wanting to see their mom happy, but I can relate to Giselle in the fact that after being done so dirty, honey, it take you a while to break that wall down. You don't want to be bothered with nobody, especially after you've been humiliated and embarrassed and you had to pick yourself back up by your bootstraps. Nobody wants to go through that again. So anywho, she's like, well, you know what? I'm going to do better. Here go Grace. But it's been 50 years of struggle. Oh my God. Giselle was probably like, cut the cameras, these heifers tripping. Not 50 years of struggle, child. I was screaming. Do y'all hear me? I said, this girl said it's been 50 years of struggle. Child, she wasn't struggling too hard, honey. She had all three of y'all. Moving forward. But this is just a side note. I would love to see a spinoff with Giselle and her girls, mostly because they have star quality, and I love the dynamic and how Giselle is when she's with her girls. She's much more likable, more relatable, and I just like their dynamic. So I would do a little 30-minute, show with Giselle and her daughters. I like that. Moving forward. In the next scene, Ashley goes to see the therapist to talk about how Michael doesn't want to get it popping. She said, I really don't remember how to be sexy. Honey, it happens to us as mommies. You got to take your life and your body back. Moving forward. Wendy and this one with Candle, they're having a photo shoot. Okay, girl. She said, On Ye Home Essentials is almost ready for the world to see because Eddie has done some things behind her back. Well, that's what Giselle and them was saying. Child, I'm just playing, y'all. But then she said what it was. She was like, did the business plan, he did the finances, and I'm very grateful for that. Honey, I would be too. Because, child, I was about to get on you, Idris. I was going to say, okay, now they said you was doing something behind her back, and now she's confirming it, but I was wrong. Moving forward. So as they're getting their photo shoot on, Wendy's mom starts asking the photog if he went to school for that. He's like, no, I went to school for engineering. Wendy was like, oh, of course. Are you African? He said, yeah. And baby, they believe in a formal education. Do you hear me? They believe in that. Her mom said, yeah, we all do that. The baton was handed to me and I'm passing it on. She said, well, aren't you glad you're a doctor? Wendy starts talking about how strict the requirements were for her growing up and how she feels like so much was expected of her, and that made her put her dreams on hold because she wanted to make her mom happy first. So her mama basically said, I did the best I could do. Okay, y'all successful, so I did pretty good if you ask me. So Wendy said, just because we came out good, that doesn't mean the process was good. She said, oh, I have no regrets. Oh, child. She said, cry now, thank me later. Baby mama said, who gonna check me, boo? Shout out to She by Sheree. Baby, that mama said, look, I did the best I could do. Take it or leave it, child. So Wendy was like, I grew up never really questioning my mom. Honey, I was the exact same way. Now, my parents aren't African, but they were the same way. And I just felt like I had to do what it was they wanted me to do to please them. And that required me going to college for 4 years. So she's telling her mom a story about how she apologized to Carter because she wrongfully accused him of something. And she said, I really felt that because I started thinking, my mom has never told me she's sorry. Well, baby, what she say that for? Her mama said, oh, hush. So mama said, look, I would say sorry to you after a long day of work. Girl, goodbye. Lady, you did not come home and apologize to them kids because you were at work too long. Wendy was like, no, ma'am, you did not. I was thinking to myself, what kind of shoot is this? Wendy, okay, first rule of business. Time is money, honey, and show some professionalism. You are in the middle of a photo shoot. These people just standing around as you and your mama get into it, as y'all get into it, talking about past trauma and whatnot. Now is not the time for that. My parents never apologized to me, the quiet as it's kept though, honey. But I do apologize to my son if I yell at him for something that was just silly because of my own mess, or I'm having a bad day and I take it out on him. I do apologize to my son because I know that was something that I wished for when I was younger. But my mom would just start talking to me all of a sudden. You want to ride to the store? You want some food back? No, ma'am. I would like an apology. I don't want none of that. You know what? My mom apologized to me for the first time at 36. But that was because I had to set some boundaries. Honey, you will not mistreat me, then re-enter my life like nothing is wrong. No, ma'am, you will enter with an apology. And once we set the boundaries, honey, we've been good ever since. Moving forward. So then mama was like, let me get my Gucci purse, honey. I'm done with this. I'm about to call me an Uber. Y'all done pissed me off. And child, by the time she was done, everybody was sorry. They was like, mama, we are sorry. Mom, we're sorry. We're so sorry about. I'm like, child, not everybody not everybody apologizing to Wendy mama. I love her mama, honey. We need more of Wendy's mama. She is hilarious. In the next scene, Ashley gets a suite that looks like her home minus the toys. And I'm like, girl, not this your house minus all these toys all over the floor. She lit Karen's 3-wick sandalwood candle to set the mood. And Michael showed up. He's familiar with the floor plans of hotels and whatnot. He love a good hotel, child. So Ashley tells us in the confessional that Michael actually used to own that hotel. Money. All I really want to see is the money. I don't really need the D. I need the money. Shout out to Cardi B. I know that's right, honey. So they sit down and she's feeding him, right? He's like, ooh, that's sexy. She's like, you think I'm sexy? He was like, yeah. So then she starts down in this Corona. I'm like, ugh. Child, it ain't nothing sexy about the way you down in this Corona, honey. Somebody needs to sponsor her. Corona, she needs a sponsorship. They gonna drink a Corona if they don't do nothing else. So they started talking about the trip and Karen's vow renewal. And he said, look, I'll go, but I ain't talking to Chris and Candace. She was like, well, Chris actually said he wanted to bury the hatchet. Michael said his wife pulled a knife on you. Is that the hatchet? Michael, I know you ain't talking about somebody's indiscretions, honey, when, you owe the entire crew and production team and everybody else over at Potomac an apology. Boy, goodbye. So she was like, no, I buried that hatchet a long time ago. He's like, no, if I can spend time with Juan, why would I want to spend time with them? What does Juan have to do with this? What does he have to do with this? I am so happy Juan Dixon is not here right now. But look, I'm probably the only one. He was like, Juan is more interesting. We get along. He's not playing games. I'm like, is this a dating profile or his qualities as a friend? So Ashley was like, oh, okay. Honey, she had to get up and kiss him. He said nicer things about Juan than he did about Ashley, setting all this up. Child, this is a fool. So she hops up to kiss him, and the producer was like, in her confessional, do Michael and Juan have a bromance? She's like, it's just a natural friendship between Michael and Juan. Okay, girl. So she blindfolded him, and they went on in the room. Child, I could have gone my entire life without this scene. It really was cringe, and Ashley was... I just really could have gone, child. Let's move forward. In the next scene, Giselle goes to see the therapist. And baby, that therapist is smitten with her. Do y'all hear me? I was like, this therapist, honey, he like him some Giselle. Now she is a beautiful woman. She came in with that outfit looking how that outfit was looking. But that's neither here nor there. She needs Dr. Francis over in Huntsville, even if it's on Zoom, because Dr. Francis is going to give it to a straight no chaser, honey. He don't care if you pretty. He don't care about your $8,000 chandelier. He don't care about that boot. He don't care about them boobs sitting up in his denim dress or denim shirt or whatever it is you wearing. Dr. Francis don't care, and he gonna stand up. He gonna stand up and he gonna say exactly what it is he needs to say to get you together. She was like, you're so busy, I had to go ahead and get in because I didn't think I was gonna get in until Christmas. If not, he's like, even if I was in high demand, I would always make time for my favorite person. I've been thinking about you. Okay, that right there is unprofessional. Because what are you thinking about her, sir? For what? So she tells him that what the girl said about her not being emotionally available for them. She said, I want to make sure that I'm being the best version of myself for my girls. So she also told the therapist that she reconnected with Jamal. And he was like, and why would you do that? In his mind, he probably was thinking like, why not me? Because, honey, I don't trust that therapist. And she was like, I just want to get the family back together. But the pandemic really made me see that I like my freedom. She says, yes, I want a man and I need a man, but I don't want to have to answer to one. First of all, you do not need a man. Okay. But I get what you're saying. And I do understand what you're saying about checking in, honey. I don't want to talk to nobody. I've been single for so many years now that, I've officially just said, look, I'm pretty content. Now, every now and again, I want to jump back in there, but I understand about not wanting to answer to anyone. So the therapist said, they're questioning love because of this. Maybe you need to talk to them about what you've gone through. And I think that's a good idea because if you tell them exactly what you went through, they'll understand why you're a little bit more closed off. So she said, she thought she was doing good, but apparently not. He said, okay, I'm going to need you to let your walls down. Giselle said, yeah, in her confessional, I'm pretty tough in relationships, but I want them to know that if there's a problem in their relationship, that they can come and speak to me, and I need them to feel that as well. Well, Giselle, all I'm going to say is as long as you keep therapy and you keep showing them that you love them and that the lines of communication are open, then they'll feel it. You can be cold in relationships, which is not a good thing. But, honey, not with your babies. And, child, that was the end of the episode. It really didn't give much. It was a filler to head us on into Karen and her vow renewal. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. What did you think about Ashley making that joke about G having Alzheimer's? Also, what did you think about Wendy and her mom's interaction? Honey, I thought it was hilarious. And child, we ain't even got to talk about Ashley and Michael. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.